are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano,
host of Locked On Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thanks for making Locked On Rays your first listen every day. And remember, the Locked On Rays podcast is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube at Locked On Rays. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Rays, and you can email us, lockedonrays@gmail.com. Well, your Tampa Bay Rays sweep the Miami Marlins, win the AL East title, regular season title, improved to 97-59, still the best record in the American League. All told, Ulises, I think a pretty good weekend. And with that, it is time for our takeaways, observations, and what we learned over the past couple of days in Rays baseball land.
Great way of saying it, right? Pretty good weekend if you're a Rays fan. Back-to-back AL East division championships. That banner is going up there next year. So if you are an early planner, make sure to get some time off from work, because you probably are going to get a day game. It's probably going to be against the Yankees or the Orioles, it seems like. So that should be fun. And I think everybody had a lot of fun. We went on Saturday. The crowd was lively. It was the biggest crowd of the season. People had a lot of fun on Sunday too. We got a DM on Instagram by Jason Carter, who's actually stationed in Chucktown, and he drove all the way down 7+ hours with his boys Wyatt and Garrett. It was Garrett's birthday, and they spent Sunday with the Rays, seeing that sweep being finalized. They saw the Wizard of Oz pitch yesterday, so good for them. Happy birthday, Garrett. Hope you had a good time.
You know, if you make that drive, I think if your drive, we've got some listeners up in the Melbourne area, all across the state. If you're driving 2, 3, 7 hours to watch the Rays, you should get a little bit of a parking pass.
Yeah,
you should explain your residency. This is where I live. This is what I have to do to get here. Can you give me a little break on the parking, please?
You know, they're gonna call us Locked On Parking. You know, we really focus on the parking, but it's something we believe in. Okay, so we can't stop not pointing it out. No, but really, it was a great weekend for everybody. I'm just so impressed. I know that we have to have takeaways, but mine is just like an overall feeling. I'm impressed about the way how two young guys saw an opportunity, Kevin, and they just ran with it with their hard work and their talent. And Shane Baz and Drew Rasmussen will be starting for the Rays in the playoffs. There is just no way that they do not. If they do not, it's a crime against baseball. I think that they would be sued by all fans of the whole 30 fan bases. So I'm expecting Shane Baz to pitch 6 innings in the playoffs. I'm expecting Drew Rasmussen to pitch 6 innings behind Shane McClanahan, who has been nailed since about July. So those three guys, it's such a fun time to be a Tampa Bay Rays fan. Oh, by the way, have I not mentioned Luis Patino and his electric stuff? Right. Literally, el electrico. So I'm still with the Walker Patino, though. I'm still with the
as a game 4.
Yeah, a piggyback, and then you can use some of the bullpen arms that you used maybe for Drew Rasmussen in game 2, and then put him in game 4. So you give that game 3 a little bit of breathing room, because Shane Baz can have a little bit of more length as a starter. But I'm excited. That's my overall. I'm just so impressed that young guys took it. They saw an opportunity and they took it.
No, that's great. And do you still have it? So if the ALDS was to start today, it would be Shane McClanahan, number 1, Drew Rasmussen, number 2, and then Shane Baz, number 3, or after what Shane Baz did yesterday, getting into the 6th inning. The Rays let him out, let him ride a little bit to 82 pitches. Do you flip-flop Baz and Rasmussen for that number 2 spot?
I do not. And I think we mentioned this on Friday. I want to have the guys that give me the most length to not be in back-to-back days. So Shane can give you length and Shane Boss. The two Shanes, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is going to get complicated. McClanahan can give you innings. Boss can give you innings. So I won them game 1 and game 3. So in game 2, that Drew Rasmussen start, for example, if he only gives you 5 innings and you have to use the bullpen, they can rest in game 3 where Shane can give you length.
Right.
And then they're ready for game 4 if something goes off the rails with Waka Patino, which I think it's how they're going to line it up. Dietrich Entz is now has been now optioned. So I feel like everybody that's in the major league roster, we've got 6 games left, folks. Right. Like, this is it. Like, the roster is basically set.
Yeah. And this is a huge time for Shane Baz, sort of, in a way, the ace in the hole, the secret weapon for the Rays in the postseason, because not to harp on the negatives, but we've seen the bullpen slide a little bit as of late. There's been some guys that have maybe brought up some questions. I think your boy Pete Fairbanks probably is looking too hot.
Bro,
Chagua has had some struggles. Anderson is not the same guy. McHugh even got knocked around a little bit. Kittredge isn't back. Whistler isn't back. You need guys. You got to have guys that can give you 5-6 innings. At some point, there's going to be a breaking point with, you can only have so many guys. It's funny. Kyle Bodie, who is the developer of Driveline and worked for the Cincinnati Reds, no longer works for them, but he basically their pitching guru said, at some point, teams are going to have to get back to being old school and developing starters, and not just being, we only use them for once or twice through the order, because there's only a certain limit on how many guys that can throw 95, 97 with a slider. You can only go to the well too many times. You're going to run out of guys in AAA at some point, or they're going to get hurt, or they're not going to be able to perform. Yeah, there's a lot of guys with big arms, but can you keep going to them without them getting figured out or not, or still producing long term?
Well, it's just a statistical odds too. If you're going to use like 6 guys, it only takes one guy to have a meltdown for you to basically get derailed off the game. So it's just, you're playing. It's like winning at roulette. You win once, you win twice, 3 times. Like, are you still going to go, all on red, all on black? I feel like, you might have to cash in your chips, but they keep doing it. It has worked so far. But yeah, the playoffs are tricky. And we saw how they basically just ran Nick Anderson to the ground. Again, Nick Anderson allowing that run yesterday. I know it's a home run, but I don't know how I feel about Nick Anderson still. I just B squad still. I would not put him in high leverage situations. I know yesterday, he had a bit of a lead, 2-run lead, so I guess you could give it to him. But in the playoffs, do you put Nick Anderson at a 3-1 game against the Houston Astros, against the White Sox, against the Jays in the 9th inning, 3-1?
Yeah, it's one thing to do it against the Marlins at home in a game where you've already clinched the division, and it's one thing to do it in the ALDS, the ALCS, or the World Series. So we're going to have to see with that. I love that you mentioned Shane Baz. He definitely lived up to expectations.
My goodness. With
his second start. And I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I figured as much. If he was going to dominate, for the most part, the Toronto Blue Jays, I was like, surely he would dominate the Miami Marlins. And he did that, and more so, going 5 2/3, just 1 walk, 3 hits, and 9 punch outs. And what I really love, hot take here, Shane Baz could be next year, he could be the opening day starter.
Ooh.
I would not be surprised if that decision was made.
I mean, right now, I know that Shane has a little bit of more pedigree than the other two, than Drew and the other Shane.
Yeah, Shane McClanahan. You're just going to have to say
we're going to
Mac.
have to say last names, okay? We're just Mac and Baz.
Yeah.
And
you can't even say like SB. You got, or no, well, you could do SM and SB, I guess.
But it's still too much.
Shane Mac.
There you go. So I know the pedigree is a little bit more, and he has got a little bit more high leverage, or more of an advantage to get that opening day start in 2022. Shane Mac does. But I think it's open season in opening day in spring training. It's like, who wants it? Take it.
It's
out there. You guys can go fight for it. Go.
Yeah, it is out there. And Baz threw 82 pitches, 44 fastballs, 21 curveballs, 9 changeups, 9 sliders, multiple out pitches, which is huge. And you just love to see how he works against the hitters. And you got the changeup moving in one direction, the curveball moving in another direction. The fastball, he can throw it right in the heart of the plate, but it has so much spin, so much velocity, so much carry that guys still can't time it up or make good contact with it. They're either going to swing through it or pop it up for the most part.
It seems like it's defying gravity, that high fastball. It would just keep going up.
Right.
It's amazing to see him pitch.
And really the best thing, I mean, maybe not the best thing, but one thing that really catches my eye is the ability to locate his breaking stuff in the zone, but still not be hit. How many guys with his stuff, his velocity, his action, just bounce breaking balls in the dirt?
I think there was one perfect example of this. I think it was 3-0. He goes high fastball. Jesus Sanchez swings through it. Mm-hmm. Then 3-1, he goes changeup, just dirty bottom of the zone, in the middle of the plate, but bottom of the zone for a strike 2. To have that wherewithal, that confidence in your stuff, 90-mile-an-hour changeup, bottom of the zone to a slugger. Great. Yeah. I mean, just good stuff. This is great. And we get to see him one more start, people. One more start against the Yankees at the end of the season. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it goes well, because if it goes well, then the ego, the confidence is skyrocket for the playoffs. Is exactly what you want for these young starters, is to go into the playoffs with so much enthusiasm. And I know it's going to be nerve-wracking, but to be positive about themselves, to be in a good mental health state would be tremendous.
Yes. We're confident about Shane Baz. We're confident about the Rays. We're also, I think, Ulises, in agreement that we're confident with DirecTV.
Oh my goodness. Confident, of course. Today I want you all to know about a simple way to get all of that entertainment that you love without the hassle. DirecTV Stream brings your live TV on-demand favorites together like never before, which means you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. And the best part of it all, you know me, I hate annual contracts. Kevin Weiss does too, and we know that you do too. So stop waiting and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. I'll say it one more time. That's directtv.com.
We also want to tell you about an incredible app that everyone who buys gas needs to know about. It's Get Upside. Listeners can make up to 25 cents for every gallon of gas every time they fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and use promo code BASEBALL to get a bonus 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's up to 50 cents cash back. Don't pay full price at the pump any longer. Get cash back using Get Upside. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Again, just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code BASEBALL to get up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. Okay, Ulises, getting to one of my takeaways or observations from the weekend, I've got a question.
Ooh.
Who is going to be the American League Rookie of the Year?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, I said from the beginning, if Randy hit 25 bombs, it was his to lose. Like, just mail him the trophy already. Mm-hmm. He's not there yet. I believe he is at 19, but let me check real quick. Oh, he's 19, though. Do you know?
Yes, I believe it's 19.
Yeah, 19. 19 home runs, 68 RBI, 16 stolen bases, 273 average, a 353 on base with an OPS of 810. I like it. I'm still, going for Randy. I know some people think Adolis Garcia's arm basically merits, and his strong power, of course, merits the Rookie of the Year award. But I'm still going for my boy Randy.
Any chance at Wander Franco if he breaks the on-base streak that Frank Robinson currently holds?
This is how much of a chance for the people that are on YouTube. Zero chance.
Okay.
Zero chance. He got hurt. I'm sorry. Not enough of a sample size.
Yeah.
Just not enough. I'm sorry. That sucks. That would have been really cool because he had enough time to make to 83 games, have some substantial sample size. No.
Yeah.
Zero.
It's really unfortunate. I would think if he hadn't gotten injured, if he had played at least half the season, 80 games, 81 games, then he would definitely be in the running in the conversation. But you can't argue that Randy has played really more than twice as many games as Wander. Yeah. Randy has played 137 games this season. Has Randy been on the injured list at all?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so he stayed healthy
yeah,
all year long, which I think is certainly a credit to him. And if you look at some of the metrics, Randy is actually tied with Adolis Garcia in WAR. According to Fangraphs, Randy leads all rookies in runs with 90, doubles with 31, walks with 50, and stolen bases as well. As I recall, he's 5th in homers, 4th in RBI. And you look at Wander, man, I just wish he would have stayed healthy because it would be such a close race. I think, you know who leads all rookies in OPS and who leads all rookies in WRC plus right now?
Well, I love these types of tones for questions because it makes it really easy. I'm going to go with Wander Franco.
You would be correct. And again, it's no surprise that the Rays, look, it's the Marlins, I get it, but that the Rays had a little pep in their step, that they handily beat the Marlins with Wander on the field. Yeah,
as you should. You want to go to the World Series. You want to win the World Series. You got to beat the Orioles, right? And they did 18-1. Like that's a lot. Like that's like, oh man, maybe you should have lost a couple. But no, they handled what they needed to handle. Exactly the same thing with the Marlins. Exactly.
And Randy might be Rookie of the Year, and this is no disrespect to Randy, but there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that Wander will be and might already be a better player and a more impactful player to the Rays and one of the best in baseball. You watch him over the weekend, and man, Bally Sports really put up a great little metric here. Wander this year, and let's keep in mind, he's 20 years old. He has 51 hits and 46 swing and misses. He's gotten more hits than he has whiffs.
That's
how
ridiculous.
Unbelievable is that? And I've said this before. Every day he looks more confident and more comfortable. He's not getting beat by high velocity. In fact, he's getting ahead of high velocity. He's pulling 96 fastballs for doubles or triples or whatever it may be. And just wait until he's probably had about half a dozen doubles that have gone off the wall.
Yeah.
Just wait till he's 21, 22, gets a little bit stronger, figures out the launch angle and the perfect contact point. You're going to see a lot more dingers from Wander. But man, everything about him just exudes fun, excitement, energy. There is not another player on the Rays, nor maybe in baseball, who is as fun to watch running the bases as he does.
And he exudes so much confidence.
Yes.
And not only like that he has confidence in himself and in his abilities, but you as a fan, you are confident, something good is going to happen. Something good is going to happen in this at bat. And that is refreshing because as a Rays fan who has been through the thick of it and remembers lineups where you had Elliot Johnson, Gabe Gross, and
all stars,
Brainiac, like it just blank, and you're like, oh my goodness, like are we actually going to score? It was a no-hitter alert every day of the season for 3 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
To have a guy like this that you're just so confident in his abilities, it's kind of like how I see Taylor Walls at shortstop. With the glove, any ball that's hit into the shortstop, I can put my feet up. I'm like, that's an out.
Yeah.
That's so great to have as a fan. One of the things that you can see is the improvement as the season went on with Wander. Remember the splits? The splits between righty and lefty, how him against righties, he really wasn't hitting the ball. Now that has actually started to get not even, but he's hitting 250 with an OPS of 709. That's respectable. That's respectable. Folks, look at those numbers a month ago, not good.
Yeah,
not good. So he has actually just improved his game overall, and that's fantastic. He's 20 years old, Kevin. He's 20 years old. You can only be. It's only the beginning for this guy. It's awesome.
Is it fair to say when you watch him and he's so patient, if there's a pitch he doesn't like and he doesn't think he can drive, he will lay off of it. He's not afraid of laying off of it. And there's also, again, or he'll just foul him back until he gets one that he can drive. But he seems, and I don't know if this is hyperbole or not. I'm not trying to say that Wander is already better than Nelson Cruz, but does Wander get fooled less often than Nelson Cruz?
I can tell you that the strike zone discipline is just unreal.
Yeah.
The recognition of pitches. It's just, I haven't seen this in a long time.
And who knows? Maybe it's Nelson getting up there in age. Maybe, I know he's been sick and
true.
It's a long season.
I don't think
so forth. But he can get caught looking foolish sometimes.
Sure, and I think everybody does, and I think Wander has too.
Lately,
but it's just that he has something else, and honestly, I feel like there is no comparable. Damn it, there is no comp to be made with Wander here. He's just Wander, and it's such a unique thing. We talk about windows of opportunities, Kevin, all the time, and on this show. 3 years going to the playoffs, back-to-back AL East division championships. We're in it, Rays fans. We're in the window of opportunity. Don't think like, in the future. This is it. I'm not saying like this year or bust, but we're in the middle of it. And I know that people are going to be saying on social media, this is going to be a dynasty. Nobody can make it a dynasty. Nobody. There is no franchise that is just going to the World Series 10 years in a row. It just doesn't happen. We're in the middle of it right now. I think we might just have to clarify what our definition of dynasty is. If it's Alabama football that's winning a national championship every year, then no. But if it's a team that makes the playoffs, 7 out of 10 years or 7 out of 12, 14 years, that's great. Yeah, that's great. But I'm saying, don't think that this is common and it's now going to be commonplace.
Right.
The Texas Rangers also thought that. Okay,
that is true.
And they went to the playoffs in 5 years out of 7 in back-to-back World Series. So let's just be mindful of that. Let's enjoy this.
I think
let's really enjoy this.
That's the modus operandi there, is to really enjoy the moment and what is going on. And so many tremendous rookies between Wander, the Shanes. Is Drew Rasmussen a rookie? I don't even know. I don't know what his eligibility is. Randy Rosarina, the list goes on and on with that. So, man, it's a good time to be a Rays fan. Ulises, I did mention, Wander maybe forming into his power at some point. One thing that may be able to help him immediately, a Built Bar or two might allow him to turn those doubles into bombs.
Prop bet. I think if Wander Franco sees the list of flavors that Built Bar has to offer, I think he's a strawberry guy.
Okay.
I see him as a strawberry guy, and I think he would love the macros. They're 17 to 18 grams in protein. Calories are ranging from 130 to 180, 4 to 5 grams sugar, 4 to 5 grams net carbs. They all have amazing flavors. They're all tasty. They're all healthy. And it's actually really simple to get a really good deal. You go to built.com, and in that promo code box, you put LOCKED15, LOCKED15, and you will get 15% off on that order. Maybe you order strawberry, maybe you go German chocolate, maybe you go mint brownie, maybe you go coconut. I don't know. That's for you to find out. So again, go to built.com, use promo code LOCKED15, and get yourself some Built Bars today.
Well, Ulises, the weekend wasn't all fine and dandy. There was a little bit of an asterisk with how much fun and enjoyable and eating up the success of the Rays. And that was news breaking during the game on Saturday, when we should have been focusing on what was going on on the field in the moment, when Mark Topkin, Tampa Bay Times Rays beat reporter, releases an article that says and states that the Rays will tout the Montreal plan during the postseason with a little sign or banner in the right field foul territory. So that's what we're going to be looking at, and I guess not looking forward to, but they're leaning into this one. They're leaning into this one for this October.
And I'll tell you what, business-wise, in the business sense, incredibly smart. Just like they're a smart front office, we always clap at them. They're handling this Montreal situation in their sense. Yeah. Look what I'm saying, people. In their sense of how they have to capitalize on it, perfectly. All eyes will be on the Rays in the national stage. National media will be at the Tropicana Field. People are going to be talking about it in national forums. That gets the conversation going. That's exactly what they want. Ultimately, I think it's just, like I've said many times, it's just a can I say bully? A bullyish,
tactic, I guess.
Tactic, thank you. A bullyish tactic to get Pinellas and Hillsborough to play nice with each other and give Stu a stadium. That's what it is. Give me a stadium. Give me the redevelopment at Tropicana Field, or give me a stadium paid by the city in Tampa. That's what it is. It sucks that in back-to-back AL East championship years, we have to be talking about this. No other franchise, except for maybe the Oakland A's, would have to do this. And it sucks because we should all just be focused on this team, on the personalities that this team has a lot of. And we're talking about this. And so we have a platform. And as big or as small as it is, we're going to talk about it. But I do want to say I hate this. Yeah, I hate having to talk about this. And I call horse blank, bull blank on Topkin or Silverman rather, saying we in the beginning we fans were really skeptical about this, but we've heard from fans that they're really coming around to the idea.
Who are these fans? Who are these people that are coming around to it? Outside of Jane Castor, I don't know anybody else that is on board with this thing.
At Silverman, if you ever hear this podcast, anybody that knows Silverman, get us on this get on this podcast. Tell me who are the fans who have actually said, I know 0 fans that are behind on this. 0. Yeah. Do not lie. Do not lie to people.
People were actually wearing like anti-Stu Sternberg shirts at the Trop the other day. You would think that a team that has made the playoffs 3 consecutive years, that has been one of the most successful franchises in all of baseball and maybe all of sports,
with the best front office,
since 2008, would love its ownership group and appreciate its ownership group, and you'd be wrong. You'd be dead completely wrong. Yeah. And you would think that, I don't even want to get into the whole thing, but it's just a shame. And you know what? I don't want to call out Topkin. Basically, he was just regurgitating what Neil Solondz did in his interview with Matt Silverman. But you talk about softball questions, just tossing it up for Silverman. I mean, I know Neil Solondz works for the team, gets paid by the team, is in a way a PR machine for the team. But you could have made the questions a little bit tougher than, is there anything you would like to say about the Sister City project? Anything you would like to clarify? How are discussions going at this point? Are they going well? That's great to hear. We're all looking forward to it.
It was a position player pitching. That was what Neil Solondz did. Just, here you go.
It was Sandy Leone, although he actually did pretty good.
Yeah. Come on. It was Williams Astudillo pitching to what was this kid? Yermin Mercedes. Yeah. It's just lobbing in there. Neil, how about do a little rotator cuff action here? Okay. Do this and then heat it up. Throw some sliders at Silverman. How about that? Just unbelievable that they're willing to just straight up lie and say that there are fans that are into this. No, I know 0 fans. And you know what? If you're a Locked On Race listener, here we go. You know, we've always said we will read however many emails that you send us, no matter if you agree with us or disagree with us. We don't care. We just want to engage with you. We want to give you this platform that we have for you to share your thoughts. If you are a fan that believes in the Montreal split city concept, DM us.
Yeah.
On Twitter, you have the Twitter here. You have the Twitter over there for Kevin. You have the Twitter below at Locked On Rays on Twitter, on Instagram, lockedonrays@gmail.com. If you believe in this split city proposal, please let us know. Let us know, because I know zero fans that would support this.
Well, even if you don't, I kind of want to hear everybody's take and opinion.
I mean,
on
sure. I'm just saying, I don't believe Matt Silverman when he says that there are fans coming around to the idea.
Yeah, what, he just pull front office workers at the Trop?
Yeah. Did he ask ushers?
Yeah.
Did he ask, Eric Neander's, cousin?
Right.
Who are you asking, really?
Yeah, it's really crazy. And you mentioned how the national media they will be at the Trop and engulfing the Trop and being part of the playoffs. And it's a shame that the talking points will be directed away from what amazing feats this team has made. You're going to get questions about that sign in right field territory. Kevin Cass is going to be asked it. The rookies are going to be asked about it. The veterans are going to be asked about it. And it's just another distraction. And, the Canadian media, I've had about enough of the Canadian media already between the Kevin Kiermaier data card gate thing. So now we're going to send a couple Montreal reporters to really rile up everything and go from there. It's just a shame that that's probably going to be some of the first questions asked by a Jeff Passan and some of these guys, not the Wander Franco's having a great season. Shane McClanahan's having a great season.
You know what?
Randy Rosarina might be Rookie of the Year. Look at how this team has transitioned and transformed from last year to this year and what they're doing with, one of the lowest payrolls in all of baseball. I see that sign in right field foul. What do you think about that this whole Montreal thing?
I'm going to be optimistic and hope that, the national media does not focus too much on it. I know there's going to be questions about it, but I really do think that this team is so entertaining. It's so complex. It's so, well put together that there are more questions than a right field Montreal City.
I would hope so.
Proposal.
But there are going to be people.
So I hope so.
I mean, but the Montreal newspapers and news media.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to go nuts.
Yeah, they're going to fly. I mean, there was a Montreal reporter in the press box over the weekend, the last couple of days.
Yeah.
So that's where we've gotten to this point. Last thing, and again, we do like to reiterate and bring this up, and we have flowing thoughts here. Fast forward to 2027. Ulises, the Rays are A, playing in Tampa Bay full-time, B, relocated to a Nashville, some other city other than Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is not a city, but you get my point. They are playing full-time in Nashville, Charlotte, San Antonio, wherever. C, they are splitting a season between Tampa Bay and Montreal. Or D, they are splitting a season with Montreal and some other city besides the Tampa Bay area. So Montreal and Nashville, Montreal and Charlotte. A, B, C, or D?
I'll still have to say A, man.
Okay.
I feel like the split city is just not going to happen. I see relocation to Portland, Oregon, to Des Moines. I don't know about Des Moines. I've never been to Des Moines, but I've seen pictures. I kind of like that.
I think it's low on the list. Orlando might be more ahead.
All I'm
than
saying is I see relocation more feasible than the split city concept. I just do not see how MLBPA would say yes to that. I really don't think so. That would be so crazy for players to say yes to. I don't think that's reasonable. And we can get on it, but it would just be too long of a show. So I'll just say that. Do you agree with me, or do you see something else?
I think it's either relocation or Tampa Bay full-time.
Exactly. Okay.
Relocation full-time or Tampa Bay full-time.
Let's end the show with not stadium talk. Just real quick, the next 30 seconds. This team has gone 7-3, folks.
Yeah.
7-3 in the last 10, 4-game winning streak. This is a good team. They have now their last 6 games. They have 97 wins. Can they reach 100? Can they reach 100? They would only have to win 1 against the Astros, 2 against the Yankees, or vice versa. Can they win 5? Can they make that happen? A sweep and then another victory? That would be interesting. But I am going to say, well, actually, I want to hear you say this. Do the Rays get to 100 wins, Kevin Weiss?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, because they still have something to play for here.
I like it.
They still want the best record in the American League for that home field advantage throughout the majority of the playoffs. And you also want to make a statement against the Yankees. You might legitimately have a chance to knock the Yankees out of the playoff picture. You beat the Yankees. You sweep the Yankees. You do damage to the Yankees. Maybe a Seattle enters the picture. Maybe an Oakland enters the picture. You never know what happens in a one-game playoff. Maybe Oakland knocks off Boston or Toronto, and you're facing Oakland. So I would say it's not. Don't be letting off the pedal right now. So just keep going. I say they get to triple digits. I think that's an important thing for them.
What a cherry on top for a tremendous season. Knock the Yankees.
Yes.
That's it.
Also, Stu Sternberg did not get me for parking. We have our trade secrets.
Good.
That is
for you.
It's I don't know if it's quite as secretive as the Blue Jays data card, but man, do I and maybe we have a great parking situation, and that will never be revealed. Nobody will ever find. To our grave, this parking loophole will remain. All right. On that note, thanks again for making the Locked On Rays podcast your first listen every day. And we will be back tomorrow. In the meantime, check out the Locked On Bets podcast.